Welcome to the Theater of Others podcast. My name is Adam Marple, and I'm the co-artistic director of the Theater of Others. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing a shutdown and reevaluation of space and gathering, we at the Theater of Others are thinking about what stories we need and how best we can share them. We believe space is psychology, and it informs the way in which an audience interacts and reacts to what is presented to them. We create uniquely theatrical events in bespoke sensory performance spaces crafted to encourage curiosity and grant the audience permission to commune with the play. Now that that space has moved online, how can we encourage interaction and action amongst an audience virtually? The Theater of Others produces plays that both welcome and challenge the audience. We are committed to international collaboration and are a laboratory that helps artists grow through intensive study of their craft. The Theater of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purpose of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task, and it requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? On the podcast today from Melbourne, Australia, are co-artistic directors Budi Miller and myself in Cairo, Egypt. This podcast contains explicit language.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Budi.
How are you?
The sun is in my eyes is what's going on. Stop that.
The sun is in my eyes today. My eyes. There is sun. Just thinking about
Are you singing a
my
musical?
eyes. I'm not singing a musical at all. Just the sun in your eyes. I like your stripe. You have a stripe now. The
Yeah,
sun
I
is
know.
giving you a stripe.
I know. Like I said, I need to
That's
rearrange
like your
this.
like
This space
that's
is.
your like post-apocalyptic makeup face.
uh,
Somebody's in a new studio and it
well,
doesn't have his lights.
it's. I don't know if it's not a studio yet. I'm in a new room, but it will become a studio.
Somebody's in a new room and it's gonna become a studio and it doesn't have his ambient lights.
Okay.
All I know is you listeners better not give us a dislike because I am a classically trained singer, okay? Hey, nice bottle. Oh yes,
Oh,
this
thank you.
is libation time.
Yeah. Yes, the bottles are
Mm.
fantastic.
Oh,
Still, still
you
available on the
too can
website.
have yes, and you can have your Three of Others water bottle that is
Mhm.
stainless steel and it has this beautiful Theater of Others logo and design right on the side of it for a low price of $20.
That's right. I love my water bottle.
Mm, it's really good, actually. I love this water bottle as well.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing my Popeye shirt.
Oh,
Why? Because I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
yeah, sure.
And I've got my spinach and my mussels and
Hmm.
my anchor.
Hey,
My anchor.
I saw something and I thought of you.
Oh
so
no, what was
so
it?
you can't say that I never learned anything about fashion. Um,
Oh,
there's a movie on Netflix called Intergalactic,
okay.
and it's Kid Cudi. You know the musician Kid Cudi.
Mm-hmm. I know Kid Cudi.
Okay, you sound like you made it. You just said it like you knew him personally, but okay.
Well, I know
I
of
know him.
him.
Okay. So it's basically it's a movie it's an animated movie. It's really good. Um
Ooh.
and I remember reading an article about this before, but then I actually saw it in the film itself. The costumes were all designed by Virgil Abloh.
Wow.
So
Wait, but it's
he can
animation?
I know he consulted on all of the animation for the costumes.
Cool. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
I know, right?
Now, for our non-binary, binary men, women, listeners around the world, who's Virgil Abloh, Adam Marple?
I don't know. You tell them. You're the one who knows. I know Virgil Abloh.
How do you know? You know, yes, you knew him. You knew him because
I knew
he's no
him.
longer with us.
Yes, I knew him in a biblical sense.
He
Um,
was he was the last designer of Louis Vuitton, and he's the original designer of what brand, Adam?
I don't know.
Off-White. Adam, I thought you learned something.
That's racist. Why would I? Why would I know who the designer of Off White is?
Hello, because you're white.
I'm not Off White. Very
I
yellow
don't know.
today. Very yellow.
Yeah, well, that's not white. You're a little pinkish. Look,
I'm
Adam,
pinkish.
relax. It's okay. It's okay.
This
It's
light.
okay, Adam. Breathe. Breathe.
I just got off an
Be the
airplane,
change
so
you want to see in the world. I know you're jet lagged, you're dehydrated, you're frustrated,
yes, I'm
you're
sad.
constipated,
I'm not
you're
constipated. I'm
sad,
sad.
yeah, and stuffed up.
Yeah, I am a little stuffed up. It's true.
It was so funny. It was so funny. Every time you like would take your earphones off to like organize your life behind you, I would say to Jack, I said, "Look at Adam, he's so sad." And you come back, what'd you say? What'd you say? He's so sad.
I literally would take my earphones off and then huff. Mm, man.
Well, that's good because the past two episodes, I've been like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
I've been having the technological,
Those things.
technological, the technological things happening to me,
Yeah, yeah.
and now you don't have your lights.
I don't have anything. I got to start all over. Yeah,
Don't cry out, lights.
and hopefully you will have the lights at some point. Hopefully the lights
They're
aren't
on their way. They should be here. They should be here either today or tomorrow.
good. Good.
Yeah, they'll be here. They'll be here.
Good.
And we're taking them to where?
Dubai. We are doing a
Bali
show in.
first.
Oh yeah. Okay. Why are we taking them to
Bali
Bali?
first, and then Dubai.
Okay. Why are we taking them to Bali?
Didn't you say you needed the lights in Bali?
No,
Since when?
I've never needed the lights in Bali.
I
I mean,
thought
I'll
you
take
said you
them. I'll
needed the
use
lights in
them.
Bali.
No, I'll
I
use them.
thought
It's
you
okay.
needed them for your devising work, composition class.
Okay. I'll definitely use them for sure. But
I
yeah,
thought
great.
you were.
I was sending them to you because I had to send them to somebody, and we needed them for Dubai for sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, Bali, I'll definitely use them in Bali for sure for the composition
But we
class
need them in Bali.
that I will be teaching at the Taksu Theater Workshop at the Theater of Others
Yeah.
in Singapore, Bali, August 19th to
Ding, ding,
29th.
ding, 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 ding. And we're full.
We're full. Yeah, it's
We're
true.
full.
I don't even know why I
We're
just
full.
advertised that.
We're full.
You can't come. Sorry, you
Well,
missed
it's
out.
for next year. It's for next year. It's for
That's
next
true.
year. They snoozed, they lose it.
It's true.
Now
It's very
wait,
true.
and it's also, Bali always brings who's ready for Bali.
Yeah. Bali always brings the boys to the yard.
Well,
Damn right.
it must be peanut butter, cause jam don't shake like that. Peanut butter, peanut butter. But there's also something that we're going to do. What else we're going to do? There's a
Oh
new
Lord. Oh
revelation.
Lord.
A new revelation. Well, no, this is the whole bespoke, nature of the work that we do
Yeah.
because as the team of people started to manifest and develop, like it just came in. It was like, oh, we have to climb our goon.
Yeah.
as an ensemble again. We're
Yeah.
back. We're back to the beginning of the work. Yes, and because you can do that now. So, we always do it in the most respectful way, but it's part of our first ensemble exercise. Boom, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Adam is so excited. He's getting all of his podcasts ready for his climb down.
No, no, I learned my lesson the first time, but
Mm-hmm.
boy, oh boy, do I need to get back into shape for it. That's for sure.
You and me both. Why am everything's a musical?
Yeah.
Everything's a musical
Could you not?
today.
Could you not? Could you not
Could you
do that?
stop? Could
Could you
you
stop doing
please?
that? Could you? Could you please get a hold of
You
yourself?
go, girl. You stop, girl.
You stop, girl. No snaps
Yeah,
for
well,
you.
that's the thing. I lost all this weight, and now I need to get stronger again,
Yeah,
and I can actually move my body the way I need to move it. So I'm
yeah.
actually really excited for the preparation. So lots of burpees and lots of lunges are coming my way, push-ups.
Lunges, lots
Yeah.
of lunges. Boy, the legs. That was
Boy, the
last time.
legs and the canaes.
The canay. Oh, yeah,
The
that's true.
canae.
The canays and the
The canae.
enclaves.
Yeah, and the enclaves. Yeah. The canae and the enclaves.
The heads, the shoulders, the knees, and the toes.
The back. Oh, oh my, oh, I have, okay. There's two things I have to, there's two things I have. Sometimes I just go, wow, wow, booty. Really? Well, it wasn't an accident. I unintentionally,
Hmm.
I unintentionally threw shade.
Okay.
And I realized when my sister-in-law, cousin sister-in-law, repeated a text message I sent her, I realized that I'm a little off my rocker.
You just realized that.
Yeah, I'm a little off my rocker. Okay, so
All
the
right.
first thing, the unintentional shade was thrown at Queen Viola Davis. I did not mean it, but it came, it came, it came out. And I'm just gonna read you what I sent, because I was just speaking from my truth, and I was speaking to a dear friend, that I trust, and I was talking about I was talking about was it African Queen? What's the film that
Warrior
she
Queen.
did?
The Warrior Queen.
What it's called, the Warrior Queen.
Hmm.
Okay, the Warrior Queen. Did you see it?
I watched it on the airplane.
Okay, so I saw it and I said, I'm watching. It's Woman King.
Okay. I don't know.
Is the Woman King or the Warrior King Queen King?
I don't know. The Woman
I think
King.
it's
That
Woman
sounds good.
King.
That
I
sounds
think
good.
it's Woman King.
Okay.
I said, I'm watching the Woman King, and I said, I'm having real problems with this film. I love me some Viola, but these accents are getting in the way of all of them. And then I was like, we must talk about this. I'm very happy it was made. This is my challenge with Queen Davis. She does grief and torn up like none other, but I just don't believe her when she has to play high status and must embody physical power at its core. I don't believe her face or her spine, back, pelvis, legs, feet. But that being said, she could do whatever the hell she wants. I'll still watch it.
Okay.
And then I was like, I just reread that. I just reread what I wrote. Was that shade? I was like, I'm rolling, I'm dying. Like, but I wasn't meaning to throw shade. It was just coming through. And I was like, oh my God, I just threw shade at the queen. I just threw shade at the queen.
I think
And then my friend was like, she got back problems.
that's shade. That's shade. But what you expressed was an opinion, and then what they expressed was cattiness.
She got back problems.
Wow.
So then, so then the other thing that I noticed when I realized that I was off my rocker, and of course these kinds of things come at me when I'm being quite serious, and I'm sitting at the family table, and dining at the family table, and my cousin's sister, she's like, "So have you told everyone about the toaster that you wanted for your birthday, and you didn't get?" And I was like, I started laughing because I wanted, because that toaster that they have on Instagram where it's like it's all digital, and like you can do all these different temperatures, and like you can like toast it like one side and not it's like the super high tech thing, right? So I really wanted it, and I was like, "This is what I want for my birthday. It's my 50th." And I was like, "Any other any other gift will not be accepted." Then they said, and do I said, and full stop, do full stop, not ask Akshay. It's my birthday, and I'll toast if I want to. Do
Wow.
not consult Akshay. And then she was like,
Toast.
anything else? And I was like, and some bath bombs from Lush only. Goddess, lakes, and deep sleep. And I'm like, I lost it. When she relayed to me what I sent. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. All y'all who have been loving me all these years. All y'all who've been
Yeah,
caring for me all these years. As I'm 50 and continue to get older, I just get more and more off my rocker. I get more and more unhinged.
indeed.
Bath bombs and toasters. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she threw the toaster in the bath. Here's your toaster, bitch. That's hard, girl. It's hard because being an actress, you don't make much money as an actress these days.
It's true. So you need somebody to buy you toast and bath bombs.
Girl, girl,
Yes,
you
girl.
go, girl.
You go, girl.
Girl, they need to start paying us for auditions. What they need to start doing.
Well, especially if they're asking to do all kinds of crazy ass shit for these auditions. Yes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh, did you did you see what I just did?
Yes, I did. I was aware of it.
Low hanging fruit again. That was low dangling fruit.
Yes. Always grabbing that low hanging fruit.
How low can you go? What are we talking about today, Adam Marple?
We're talking about something that we've been wanting to talk. You've been wanting to talk about this for a while,
Hmm.
but we've needed to talk about this because of all kinds of news that is coming up in the zeitgeist right now.
In the
We're
news,
talking.
all the news is coming up in the news.
All the news is coming up in the news. I'm jet lag. I don't know what I'm saying. Halfway through my sentences, I realize I'm like astrally projecting myself and looking back and going, "Are you talking right now? Who's listening to you? What is this? What is this medium that we're doing? Nobody pays attention to you right now. Adam, just get to what you're saying." We're talking about. We're talking about. God, we're talking about the self tape and should actors be paid for their auditions?
Well, um, yes. Okay, next.
Right, exactly. Thank you. That was a really quick episode, just a little mini episode. The answer is yes to that. And
Thank you. I love you. Bye bye.
yeah,
Well, let's talk about why. Why?
why?
Why? Well,
Why
before we get to the
why
why,
self-tape?
we have to talk about what is expected. What's
Yeah,
expected? Because I mean, because we had a little bit of that chat with Andrew Borba when we were talking about when he was talking about the opera singers.
yeah,
It's a different medium and it's a very particular audience. It's what they need to hear and see you do
yeah.
versus how slick the the self tape is.
Mhm.
And I think what's really challenging is because as the medium of film is unforgiving when things are talking about the ghetto, but it's also unforgiving when it doesn't live in truth. So the all of the becoming a designer and a director and a
A
grip
location
and a sound
scout.
person and
Yeah,
location scout. Like I mean, like there's so many things you have to do,
yeah.
and then on top of that, trying to figure out is this the right backdrop? Can I get a backdrop that's not? Can I get a backdrop that's not all wrinkly?
Mm,
And if you and especially if you're one of the old schoolers that were like in the room is what you do, but like you have to completely upskill into understanding what this self taping is all about.
mm,
And look, we are out of we're a year and plus out of COVID. And people were upskilling and figuring things out during that time period, but it's still a skill. I mean,
mm,
it's a skill that we taught at school and it's being taught at school. It's a full-on class that people are having an opportunity to fail at. Test and fail, test and fail, test and fail, test and fail. And if you're a working actor, it's like that's extra time, and time is money.
mhm.
And
I
then they're
think
talking about like, okay, go ahead, Em.
no,
Go ahead.
I'm saying I'm thinking, this is it's not going to go away. We're not going to put the genie
No.
back in the bottle, but there has to be limits of what we expect an actor to do. And then, that you're talking about film and television, but this is also now becoming standard in theater as well.
Yeah.
And those are very
It's
different.
standard for everything.
Yeah,
It's
right,
standard for everything.
exactly. Right. Well, it's we're saying it's standard for everything, but there are no standards actually. Like, what
Yeah.
can you ask an actor to do or not to do, and where do they draw the
Well,
line?
well, this is the thing. Do you remember this?
I
It
remember
was
you
like when I
telling me this.
first
Yeah.
moved to Australia. Someone asked me for a self tape a for a role in a play, and I was like, "What?" I was like,
Ew.
"I don't want to work with you if that's the first entrance into our relationship."
Yeah.
I understand for film and TV, but for like theater, and it's also I'm an old man now, and so I was like, what? And this is before COVID. This is like years before COVID. So
Hmm.
and now it's just the standard. It's just the standard. And I think the problem that's hard, the biggest challenge is the difference between a professional audition and a um, amateur audition, right?
Yeah.
If it's not an equity, if it's not a union contract, it's got a different kind of. I don't know. I feel like if you're a union actor doing these tapes and tests, you should be paid for your time because you are a union actor. You've done what it takes to be a professional actor. You've done what it takes for someone to pay you to do your work. And then what it does is it creates a scenario where if you can't have people in the room, that you're going to guarantee that you're going to actually spend time with the submission, because the submission it takes four times as long as it does with preparation and then going and doing your work and working with someone in the room versus doing your work and then having to work it, rework it, work it, rework it, work it, rework it, and then send it off. On top of needing this and having the skills to be able to do those things. It's like, but and we are also in an age where the youngins, they know how to do all this editing stuff. So asking them to, edit and create a video is something that's pretty much in their wheelhouse. But now we're talking about this being extended out into the entire community, and so we have to take care of the generations of technical knowledge. And so I think if it's a professional audition, you should be paid for it.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and,
Come
and
on now,
and
give it to me.
not in anything that I believe in at all. I just had to play a devil's advocate so we can have this conversation of, if we are going to pay professionals, two things are probably going to happen. One, we're not going to have non-equity allowed into auditions anymore because they're not going to pay non-equity. So then how does somebody become equity if they don't get an equity show? They can't get an equity show unless they audition for an equity show. So there's that. Two, um, they're probably going to call less people. So you're gonna have less opportunities to audition for shows because I only have a certain amount of money that I'm going to spend on these auditions. And what we're talking, like, what, $20, $25
Well, this
dollars?
is the other thing. But this is the other thing, Adam. This is the way you take care of that. Is you say the we do a cattle call. We do a cattle call, and that's what happens. That's what happens in the equity auditions where you can do the equity cattle call, right?
Yeah,
Where they see you. So
but they're not
do
going.
figure
But why would
figure out
why
a
would they
form
do
of
that?
cattle call.
Why would they do a cattle call if we're now doing? Why am I going to do self tape with professionals and then cattle call with a bunch of non professionals? I'm just not going to do that
Well,
anymore.
well, if you want to get if it's a show that you want to be seen for, you'll do it. That's why
No, I'm
people
not. I'm
go to
not.
cattle calls in the first place.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the producer's point of view. Why would a producer hold a cattle call anymore?
Well, because they want to see new talent.
But I'm having to pay for this over here, or I see new talent for free over here. I'm having to pay. I have to do this. Like, this is going to have to happen. And then on top of having to watch all of those things and pay for all of those things, I'm also going to take time out of my day to now hold a cattle call audition where those people who could have done a self tape can now come and do this again. See, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense from either point of view. Like, I'm a non-professional, I'm non-equity, and I come to this cattle call audition. Nothing has changed for you. This is the same life that you've been living for the past how many ever years. But
Hmm.
I'm an equity performer
Hmm.
that could come to those auditions,
Hmm.
or I could go and do a self tape and get paid for these auditions.
But you're only doing a self tape if someone has get, put in interest. So the only like you send the submissions to a management team to agents, right? And then they say, okay, well, I've got these actors. Who do you want to see? Well, I want to see them. Those are the ones we pay for. Okay, it's we still aren't finding our person. Go to our cattle call, and that may have some equity people in there already. Those are the first choices, and then you have the unprofessional, the non the non equity, the non union holders, right? And then that's just what it is. So that it opens it up. But you pay for the ones that you are interested in. But if you don't get what you need, then you open it up to the cattle call.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, first off, I
It
will
ju-
say
look look. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have not had to experience this at all. I am not interested in a self tape for the theater. I don't know what this is like. I've not had to work with a company that has asked me to do this yet, so I'm completely ignorant on this entire process. I'm just thinking from a point of view as a director and a producer, if I have if I have to do a self tape, if I have to go the self tape route where I have actors submit self tapes to me, one, um, I'm not going to have a cattle call of other things.
Okay, what about
If
this?
I
What about
have to
this?
do
Okay, what
this, I'm
what
not
about
going to do
this?
this other
What
thing.
about this? What about this? The initial audition is free. The callback you pay for.
but then think about it from the actor's point of view again. Like it's still work that you're doing. You're still putting yourself on tape. You're still
Mm.
having to now in terms of callback, I should be in the room with you. Like it makes sense the way it is, where like you send in a self tape and then I call you back into the room, which then begs the question: should you be paid for callbacks as well? But the work that is required for the self tape, like the ridiculousness that people are asking, like, can you go film outside? Can you get a friend to read these lines for you? Like that's a job.
Well, this is the thing. I think the fee should be inside of the service that you upload it to. So like if you have an uploading service that has a membership fee that you pay monthly, like a Spotify kind of scenario. And so every time an actor uploads, they get a certain amount of money from the Spotify or whatever that particular app is. But everyone, the casting directors, the agents, and the actors, or whoever you know has to pay like a membership into the uploading service. And then in the uploading service, you can also see, like response to your video, like how much did they watch? Did they not watch it?
So I'm an actor.
Hmm.
I'm paying, let's just call it Spotify. I'm paying Spotify X amount of money per month for the
Hmm.
ability to upload my material for people to see.
Yes.
So I'm losing money
Yes.
before I even audition.
Yes.
And then I go to a train station and I 2 days before it's due, I'm given 5 pages of dialogue to memorize, and I have to find another actor to read with me. And I take multiple takes of it, and I find the best take, and I edit it, and I send it, and I upload it to the thing that I've paid for. And then somebody sees it, maybe watches 37 seconds of my 3 minute self tape, and then I get paid, possibly.
It sounds like a pyramid scheme, I know.
It's,
But
it's,
listen.
it's
Okay, all right. So then limit the types of things that you can send for a self test. So it's a self tape, right? Maybe you can't do a scene. Maybe it needs to be monologue only.
how much
So
do you think actors should be paid for auditions?
that's a good question, and I'm glad you asked. I think actors should be paid. This is the thing. If you end up doing like three self tapes in a week, you should get $60 for it. $20. Twenty
Twenty
dollars for
dollars per.
everyone.
Okay,
$20 for
sure,
everyone.
sure.
And they need to give you enough time to work on it.
Well, I mean, if only there were, I don't know, a guild or a union that could negotiate these things for you and figure out all the ins and
Girl,
outs of these things.
girl, if only.
If only. But here's so like obviously SAG after they are going to be doing this, and we're going to be talking to people
Mhm.
about this coming up soon, which is
Yes, we
fantastic to
are.
actually
Most
actually have
definitely.
actually have people who are doing this for real, not just two people who
Some
are like
queens. We're
yeah.
having some queens come to the podcast.
But no theater is going to be able to do that. No theater is going to be able to
No.
afford to do that.
Well, then theater needs to hold. They need to host live. Theater
Yes,
can't call. Theater can't. Theater are not. They are not allowed to do self tapes.
I'm okay with that. I agree with that
It has to be
completely.
live.
Yeah, here's the, I mean, this will be the next test. Obviously, probably SAG AFTRA is probably going to negotiate something in some kind of contract where there'll be some kind of payment. The question will be once SAG AFTRA has that, how equity cannot have that. How are there going to be two different standards for actors in the industry that way where um, either they're going to have to say there can be no self tapes or self tapes have to also be paid at a scale of some kind. So once one
Yeah.
is negotiated, the other will become negotiated.
I think theater should be live.
I think so too. I
I
agree
think it should be live.
completely.
Or and live can consist of Zoom, like a Zoom audition, because it's still interactive and live happening in the moment where you can give adjustments and you can have
Yeah,
you can have something where you can see how the person is committing to the work and attempting to change you that's observing it, right?
yeah, yeah,
But it can't be recorded.
yeah.
Can't be
Which,
pre-recorded.
again, not to. This is another podcast altogether, but that question of becoming like, then what happens to your image? Do they get rid of that? Is I'm super concerned with people having our images and our voices now. And I know we've got a podcast and I know we're on YouTube. But with AI, all it takes is 50 words to be able to recreate your voice. And all it takes is a little bit of your face and then then they don't need you anymore. They don't need you
But I don't
for
think I just and we'll have this conversation with Janelle and Shalia because I was already having this conversation with them, well, which is why I was like, we got to bring them on to talk to us on the podcast. But I would, you know, it just makes it stronger, makes live performance and live
absolutely.
interaction stronger. So it's like people will
Absolutely.
just stop trusting digital imagery altogether.
I
You
don't think
know,
they will. I don't think they will, but I don't think theater's not going away. Theater's going to be made stronger for it. I think so,
it's
but
just, but I mean, like when it comes to like what people say, it's like, is it in if it's in live? I saw it live. I saw them say this live.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
It's going back to that. It's going back to having a real town hall, you know,
yeah,
going back to what makes us human beings, which I think is really cool. I love that there's this like tipping point where, the plagiarism machine called AI, as you so aptly
yes,
um defined, will just be a toy and a gimmick.
yes,
I think the day where, when Adolf Hitler said, he who rules the image rules the world. I think people have woken up to that. Are waking up to that. And it's like, especially when people are saying that, like, I think you know what I think is the scariest thing are the fucking prosthetics. People that are putting like full on faces that are different, like black people or different, different cultures and different people, and they like do a drive by, or it's just like the movie Drive. I was I was thinking of Drive. Sorry,
okay,
Ryan Gosling just came in. I love him in that movie. It's so good. But like you have this like prosthetic head, and you're doing all this like bad stuff. You know, that's what I think is scarier. When I see that stuff, I'm like, that's really fucking creepy. That's really fucking creepy. Um, so it will get to the point where people have to pull your face. I need to touch your face to see if it's real.
right,
You know.
exactly, yeah. Um,
But I think the craftier people get for trying to deceive, the more people will wake up to really be mindful. Being mindful and present and holistically experiencing vibration as opposed to going into automatic pilot. It's so easy to let the world pass in your periphery vision, as
mm,
opposed to really see what's in front of you, really hear what people are saying, really acknowledge that it's being said, and really acknowledge that things are being done right in front of you, you know?
mm,
And that's what I think is quite fascinatingly fun. I love it. I love that, like, now we really are going into this, like, we have to go back to nature. We have to go back to the tree. We have to go back to hugging a tree. We have to go back to feeling the earth. We have to go back to smelling the air, because no matter how hard we try to be, technologically advanced, if the air isn't clean, we're dead. If the water
mm.
isn't clean, we're dead. If there's nothing to eat, we're dead. And if you're dead, there's all that's left is your AI image, and it doesn't even matter.
I had a great follow up conversation with Andrew Borba, um, who is joining the Sustainable Theater Network. I should say, I'm very excited about that.
Yay!
Um, and we were talking about AI. We were talking about all these kind of things, and he was saying that what he is seeing in terms of kind of the year groups that he's obviously every single year different MFA class. He was actually saying that what he's excited by and is interested in what that means for training, that that earnestness and authenticity are now not in vogue, are necessary. And
Mm,
it's hard to kind of like retrain that, retrain earnestness, retrain authenticity to that. For a while plays were cynical or post dramatic, but people are now going to obviously be craving uh, simplicity and realness, the
mm,
thing that you cannot fake, the thing that cannot be shined up and glossed over, like just earnestness, realness, simplicity of story and feeling and being in presence with other people. As you're saying, you can't fake nature, you can't fake um, the divine. That those are they're things that like we're gonna hopefully get back to and really really enjoy, and that earnestness of not needing the whistles and the fireworks and the bangs and things of just being in the presence of other people that are real right there in front of you. You can feel them, you can experience that. I'm excited about that. That's good. So self tape all you want, and do the other thing, but theater's not going away.
yeah, and pay people for work that they should be paid for.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, also the other thing is like, if people are paying for it, you better fucking give me something that's, you know, because then that's the other thing. It's like, okay, we paid you, and this is what you gave us.
yeah. I
This is the
again to,
price of an amateur theater ticket,
right. I mean, that's going to
$20.
be that is going to be the thing. Again, to play devil's advocate of like how, as somebody mentioned, and this article that we we're linking in the show notes here. Um, how much of the self tape are they going to watch? I mean, if everybody can submit a self tape, everybody's going to submit a self tape because now we're going to get paid for it. So now there's going to be twice as much shit to watch, twice as much things, or we're going to have to find somebody who can shuffle through that, siphon through this stuff to get, then send to the producers, the casting directors, the directors. So then that person needs to get paid. So then everything down the line slows down and becomes more expensive. Um, I don't know. It's a real conundrum. I don't know.
Well, but also, but this is the other thing is like actors are not getting paid what they're worth anymore. It's not those the day and age of getting paid for 5 episodes on a network show
Yeah.
versus a streaming show.
Streaming.
It's not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
So no money's being made all around,
Yeah.
and so. And I also think that the ones that they're asking people the people that they're asking to audition that's where they're going to be selective and saying I want to pay this actor because I want them to put their best work forward because I'm actually considering them. And then you get the actors that those that you don't need to audition. They have enough work for you to decide, make a decision, and then if you
Mm.
want to see more of their work, you pay them for some more to see some more of their work.
Yeah.
It's a weird conversation because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately if people want people to be paid for what they're worth, you have to look at structures that don't fulfill the capitalist model. I mean, this is kind of socialist when you think about it. Everybody gets paid, and
Yeah.
it's like that whole like you gotta pay your dues. It's like there's that whole thing in the American way. I don't deserve medical insurance. I have the right. My kids have the right to be killed in school
Yeah.
by gun violence. Pizza is a vegetable.
Ugh, God.
And it's like I said before, this is what that was that Rudolf Steiner quote that I just loved. It's like the reason why Americans are so greedy is because they're malnourished.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. I
Yeah.
think about that all the time. Greed is connected to malnourishment.
Yeah.
And there you go, and that's capitalism. So malnourishment is not getting enough for the work that you're doing. So I'm
Yeah.
hungry, and so then we look like we're greedy because we want to get paid for our work. And the greed actually gets the greed gets revealed in the people that aren't paying us, because that's actually where the greed is subsiding.
Mm.
And these systems, once people start striking and saying you're not going to get any work, they take forever to make a decision because they're trying to figure out the best way that they come out on top still, as
Yeah.
opposed to just make it fucking equitable so people can live their lives
Mm.
without stressing about being fucked over by a corporation, being fucked over by capitalism, being fucked over by this really like horrible design of the American manifest destiny. You know manifest destiny, right?
Of course.
Can you please explain to our non-American listeners what manifest destiny is?
Oh, it was an idea still embedded in America that we are a chosen society. We are the chosen place that God or whomever um, gave us, and that we therefore have to. We need to expand. We need to get more land. We need to um, civilize the savage. We need to, because it is a duty, because of what we were designed to do. We, America, this land is the chosen land. So that's what led to the westward expansion. That's what led to dabbling in colonialism in the Philippines and all the other islands in the Pacific and Puerto Rico. That it's our duty.
Dabbling, colonialism,
Dabbling,
just
dabbling in
colonialism,
well, well, I mean, we didn't go full on England, France or other countries, but
neo-colonialism, colonialism,
neo-colonialism, exactly. Um, yeah, so that
and the
it's
destruction of indigenous lives and peoples and
of
families,
course
and the thievery of their land and space and properties. And
as
we were
as
taught,
ordained as ordained by God.
yes,
It is our destiny. It is our
yeah,
destiny. It is manifest. It is known
yeah.
that we have to do this thing. Yeah.
And in my day, we were taught that that was a value, and
Oh
that
yeah.
that was a good thing, and it was a good value to harbor as an American, to manifest destiny.
We have to make America great again.
Exactly,
Again.
exactly.
Yeah.
What part of
We
America do you want to go back to,
simultaneous
black person? The future.
simultaneously, we're the greatest country on earth, and we need to make America great again.
Yeah,
I love those two
yeah,
contradicting thoughts in a person's head, and you try to point that out to them, and they don't understand what you're saying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
totally. So true. So true. And I think that's where it just gets really frustrating and exhausting for us artists, because for the most part, us artists around the world, we are holistic, embodied beings that want to investigate our human nature. And that's not a corporate capitalist design. It's not an institutional way of operating. So we're always pushing up against the institution, and it's always frustrating and giving us ulcers. But like, to the point where now the technology is now causing this frustration for us. But I just say, y'all, shut it down. Shut the shit down. Burn the motherfucking bridge down and rebuild it. Strike. Ooh, oh,
They are.
Ooh, did I say strike? Did I say fair is fair?
That's right. You did.
That's right.
I want my TV shows back. God damn it.
I've just started the second season of White Lotus because who knows when we're gonna get another one. Okay, and it's really good. Oh my god, it's so good.
Do you want another white stinky show to watch? Are you
I
watching
don't know.
Succession?
I don't like Succession
Why?
because it's just that bad. It's that good. It's bad. The writing's really good. The acting's brilliant, but it's just the story I can't fucking
I
watch.
know. Yeah.
I can't. It's
Yeah.
just I can't.
Yeah. I know.
I
I
try.
know.
My husband loves it. He loves it. I'm happy that it's over, so I don't have to have it in my house anymore. But the vibe is just,
I totally understand. I
I
totally
just,
understand it.
you know
I
what I
totally
mean?
understand. I totally understand it. I'm only watching it for the writing and the acting because it is so phenomenal. The story is wretched. The story
It's
is
fucking wretched.
the
And every time I
worst.
watch it, I learn a new word. Like that's why the writing is so good.
Yeah.
I learned something, but I can't. It's just,
It
I can't.
hurts. The story
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
Only
Like the
because
way,
you know it's true. Only because you know it's so
yeah,
true.
and
But
how they treat each other. I just
yeah,
can't.
God.
I can't.
Yeah. But
I
the
can't.
writing and the acting, God, the acting.
Yes, yes. It's very very strong. It's
Yeah.
very strong. But I'll stick to my White Lotus.
Okay. And your 1980, 1923s and your 1883s.
1923. But now it's starting to turn soap opera again. It was doing so good,
It's
and
all
now it's
soap
flipping into
opera.
soap opera again. I'm
It's
like,
all soap opera.
but it was so the first like episodes were so. I need more. I need more of the First Nations character. I fucking love that story. That girl is amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing, and
Yeah.
every time they're like we go to her story, I'm viscerally like ripped open. It's ugh.
Yeah.
But then like it starts to go into the soap opera thing, and it's like, oh man. Oh, but I'll stick with it because I wanna follow that First Nations character. I really am invested in her and her grandmother. Ugh, ugh, can't wait. I think we should take a break
Yeah. I think we've talked around everything and everything.
and nothing, everything and nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. And then we come back with provocations.
Can.
Wunderbar. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary conforming individuals, you're listening to the stereo sounds of JDB, Jack David Burmeister. Okay, okay, Jack. I see what you're doing there. I see what you did there. Cows? Wow. Is it because Adam's back in America? You got
Mm,
cows now?
thanks.
Home,
Thanks.
home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
There you go.
Well, Adam Marple, we are back, and it's time for provocations. Do you have a provocation?
I do. I do. Um, yeah. So I've included this in the show notes down below, and I hope it's not behind a paywall. You may be able to read it, but there's a great
Behind a
article.
paywall?
Yeah, the New Yorker, New York Times, uh, some newspapers put a paywall so that you can't read their articles. I understand. I want people to be paid for their stuff, but at the same time, like it's the news. Give me the news. Come on. Um. Anyway,
We were just
there's an
talking about
article
people
down.
getting paid, and they like
I know.
don't pay the journalists. Don't pay the journalists.
No, 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 no. news should be a right as well. This is a
Mm.
problem. Is that the news that is free comes off of Facebook and Instagram, and the
And it ain't
news
news.
that you have to pay for is the real stuff. There's a problem.
Is the
That's a real problem.
news.
Is the news.
You gotta buy a
Anyway,
newspaper.
long story short, I've included this article down below. Check it out. It's called "Should Actors Be Paid for Auditions" by Michael Schulman. It encapsulates the kind of the argument that we're talking about today. It's really interesting to. I mean, it's this is not something that is, you know, science fiction. This is not something that is, you know, this is a problem that you, dear listener, will be dealing with, whether you are dealing with it currently in the United States or down the road in, you know, in your country. Like where I'm coming from, Cairo, like they're not doing that yet, but it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before they start to do that. So it's interesting that the
Mm.
actors are like, oh, self tapes, blah 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 blah. I'm not doing that. You will. Don't worry. This is coming. This is coming to a country near you. You will be dealing, if you're an actor or a director, you will be having to deal with this at some point. It's good for you to get ahead of the game and have an opinion about it and start formulating a process of what you're going to do. And so check out this article. It's really interesting to kind of think about this. There are, I mean, obviously, as I tried to play today, that there's a lot of devil's advocate kind of
Mm.
points of view to consider and understand what is coming down the pipeline in our industry. It's not
See,
just screen and television, but also theater as well.
I want to add on to that provocation. I think that people should write in or call, give us their feedback. Should you get paid for this?
Mm.
Are we crazy? Do you think that actors should be paid for self tapes? Tell us why. Give us your opinion. I want to hear what you have to say. Inquiring minds want to know. And so do Budi and Adam.
It's true. We do.
Adam, how will we know that they did these things?
They're going to go to speakpipe.com/theater of others. Again, speakpipe.com/theater of others, theater with an RE, theater of others, all one word. You can leave a 90-second voice message there. We'll play it on air. We'll be happy to hear your
Mm-hmm.
lovely voices. If you don't want to share your lovely voice with us, but you still want your voice to be heard, you can go to podcast@theater of others. Leave us an email there. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and our website.
We're on the gram, y'all.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And the only way you're going to know about any of these things that are happening and be a part of this conversation is if you do what, Budi?
Subscribe, 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 subscribe. We come to your inbox week, y'all. Week. How you gonna know unless you subscribe? How you
It's
gonna
true.
know?
It's true.
And if you really like us, you can give us what my Uber driver always says. Give us 5 stars. I'll give you 5 stars. You give me 5 stars. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Like.
Yes.
And if you really like us, you can leave us a message and say why you like us so much. And then it goes into the algorithm of like, wow, this podcast has value. Let's step it up because we are in the top 5 percentile of podcasts of the world. Let's go to number 1. How are we going to get Oprah if we are not number 1? Oprah only wants number 1.
Yeah.
Oprah only wants number 1.
We're only doing this podcast to meet Oprah. We started this in 2020 just with the sole idea of meeting Oprah.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, I guess we could talk about theater or whatever other bullshit's out there.
100%.
Yeah.
It's we were going to call it Oprah's Theater Podcast, but you know, we just didn't want to be, you know, so
the theater
bold.
of Oprah. Yeah, we want to be the theater of Oprah.
Yeah, then we were going to go theater of O, but then we just like this the theater of others, just to think about this. I'm so happy to see you smiling again, Adam.
I'm getting there.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
I'll see you next week.
Always. Yes, of course. Without fail.
Yeah, baby. That's the provocation.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be great when we're in Bali. Whoa. What's Jakina going to do? Jakina's going to have to come to Bali and produce us. Hello. Hello, Jakina.
Jack, you have to climb the mountain as well.
You gotta climb the mountain. And for y'all, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Theater Brothers podcast. Make sure to visit our website, theaterbrothers.org, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. A special thank you to Purple Planet for the music you've heard. The Theater Brothers creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purposes of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task and requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? Be sure to tune in next week for our next journey.